There is a moment that decides your position before you ever realize a decision was made. It happens quietly. No announcement, no confrontation. Someone watches how you respond to pressure, to disrespect, to inconvenience. And in that moment, they decide what you are to them. Not who you are, what you are. Tool, threat, background, leverage. Most people never see this moment because they are too busy trying to be understood, too busy being agreeable, too busy being kind. Machiavelli warned that men judge far more by what appears than by what is. And the appearance of kindness, when unprotected, tells certain people something very specific. It tells them, you are safe to use. This is not about morality. This is about pattern recognition. There are people who do not respond to goodwill the way you expect. They do not see kindness as character. They see it as clearance. Clearance to push. Clearance to take. Clearance to test how far they can go without consequence. If you have ever wondered why being reasonable made you invisible, why patience led to disrespect, why generosity attracted takers instead of allies, it is because you were kind to the wrong audience. And the wrong audience always reveals itself too late, after the cost has already been paid. Machiavelli understood that human behavior follows incentives, not ideals. Men are not moved by fairness. They are moved by advantage. When kindness reduces the cost of exploitation, exploitation follows. Not because people are evil, but because the structure allows it. The tragedy is that most people never withdraw kindness from those who abuse it. They double down, they explain more, they give more, they soften further. And every step teaches the other person exactly how little resistance they will face. The first people you should never be kind to are those who test boundaries as a reflex. These are not dramatic villains. They are subtle. They start small. A delayed response, a dismissive tone, a minor request that slightly inconveniences you. They are not asking for the thing. They are watching your reaction. Do you hesitate? Do you justify? Do you comply without friction? Kindness here is not received as warmth. It is read as compliance. The moment they sense you will prioritize smoothness over enforcement, they begin to escalate. Not aggressively, methodically. They do not wake up intending to exploit you. Their nervous system recognizes an opening. Machiavelli wrote that men are quicker to offend those who make themselves loved than those who make themselves feared. Fear in this sense is not violence. It is uncertainty, the question of cost. When kindness removes that question, behavior decays. Then there is the insecure climber. This person is obsessed with hierarchy, but terrified of real competition. They need someone beneath them to stabilize their self-image. They perform loyalty upward and dominance downward. To them, kindness is confirmation that you accept your place. They absorb your generosity as proof of superiority. They do not feel gratitude. They feel validated. You will notice that the more you accommodate them, the more they interrupt you, the more they talk over you, the more they frame your ideas as theirs. They are not malicious. They are compensating. And kindness feeds that compensation. Machiavelli would recognize this as a dangerous imbalance. When you allow someone to rise by standing on you, they have no incentive to stop. Another type is the chronic taker. This one is wrapped in need. They are always struggling, always overwhelmed, always deserving of understanding. Their extraction is quiet. Time, energy, attention, emotional labor. They frame every request as temporary, every drain as justified. Kindness here feels noble at first. You feel useful, supportive. But slowly, the dynamic hardens. They stop asking. They start expecting. Your availability becomes assumed. Your limits become obstacles. The danger with this type is that if they see your kindness as an obligation you owe them, when you finally withdraw, they feel betrayed. Machiavelli warned that men forget benefits quickly, but remember injuries forever. With the chronic taker, benefits are not remembered at all. They are consumed. Only the withdrawal registers, and it registers as hostility. All of these people share one trait. They respond to signals, not intentions. They do not care how you see yourself. They care what you allow, and what you allow teaches them how to behave. This is the invisible mechanism most people never see. Humans are constantly sorting, status, risk, utility, threat. This happens instantly, before trust, before logic. The brain asks, can this person impose cost? Can they deny access? Can they walk away? If the answer is no, behavior shifts, respect softens, demands increase, testing begins. Kindness without structure collapses deterrence. It removes uncertainty. It tells the other person there is little to lose by pushing. This is why certain people grow bolder the more patient you are. They are not becoming cruel. They are becoming efficient. Machiavelli wrote that men must be either restrained or eliminated from harming you. Not physically, strategically. If you do not restrain behavior early, it escalates. If you do not define terms, others will define them for you. This is why kindness should never be your opening move with unknown people. Kindness should follow clarity, not replace it. It should be a response to respect, not a substitute for it. Consider how this plays out in professional environments. The person who rushes to help without being asked becomes invisible. The person who explains their limits is seen as difficult. The one who enforces them silently is respected. In negotiations, the one who needs agreement loses leverage. In social circles, the one who is always available is forgotten. In digital spaces, overpresence cheapens authority. These are not moral judgments. They are behavioral patterns. Machiavelli would tell you that men respond to what costs them something. When kindness costs you everything and them nothing, it degrades. Go deeper and you hit biology. Dominance hierarchies exist because they reduce uncertainty. Every group wants to know who can act and who must adapt. Signals clarify this. Posture, pace, silence, willingness to disengage. These things communicate before words. Predators do not hunt strength. They hunt ambiguity. They look for hesitation, for over-explanation, for the need to be liked. This is why certain people only respect you after you resist them. They are not impressed by your kindness. They are reassured by your capacity to impose cost. Once that capacity is visible, their behavior adjusts. They become polite, reasonable, even friendly. Not because you changed, but because the incentive structure did. Never be kind to people who punish you for boundaries. Never be kind to people who escalate when you accommodate. Never be kind to people who only behave when you withdraw. Kindness should be scarce, selective, conditional, given after strength is established, not before. When you lead with kindness, you place yourself beneath people who do not deserve that position. Here's the paradox Machiavelli understood. When you stop feeding those who exploit you, they leave. When they leave, space opens. Different people enter, people who respect limits, people who value restraint. Your kindness, when it finally appears, is read as generosity, not weakness. The world does not become kinder, it becomes clearer. Most people never experience this shift because they confuse discomfort with cruelty. They would rather be used than be seen as cold. Machiavelli would call this self-destruction disguised as virtue. Understanding this changes nothing if you do not act. The separation between the exploited and the respected is execution. The moment you stop explaining yourself to those who test you, the moment you stop rewarding disrespect with patience, the moment you withdraw softness from those who misuse it, the pattern breaks. Some people will disappear. Some will resent you. Some will reveal themselves immediately. That is not loss. That is filtration. Machiavelli was not teaching cruelty. He was teaching accuracy. Seeing men as they are, not as they claim to be, not as you wish them to be, but as they behave when incentives allow. Never be kind to those who mistake it for permission. And if you are thinking, good, I understand, I will just be colder now, stop right there. That instinct is how people turn this into a costume, a performance, a reaction. The people I am warning you about can smell that too. They have seen angry boundaries. They have seen fake toughness. They are not intimidated by volume. They are not impressed by speeches. They are trained by one thing only: consequence. The mistake is believing the lesson ends where the warning ends. It does not. What you have so far is the identification. Now comes the part that actually matters. How these people operate in sequences over time. How they move when the room is watching. How they move when nobody's watching. how they recruit others to do their dirty work, how they flip the story when you finally stop feeding them. This is why Machiavelli obsessed over appearances, not because he loved deception, but because he understood the crowd will always side with the version of events that protects them. You have seen it happen. A person disrespects you and calls it honesty. You respond with restraint, and they call you sensitive. You set a boundary, and they call you controlling. You withdraw, and they call you childish. The labels are not truth. They are weapons. If you accept their framing, you lose twice. First, you lose the resources they took from you. Then you lose reputation for trying to stop the theft. Start watching the first stage, because the first stage is always harmless on purpose. The boundary tester begins with something that can be explained away. A small favor, a small delay, a subtle entitlement. They want you to participate in your own exploitation by making excuses for them. If you do, you have just proven you will rationalize discomfort. You have proven you are easier to manage than to respect. Then comes the second stage, the normalization. They repeat the behavior. They add a little more each time. They rely on your memory of the first version. You remember the harmless version, so you hesitate to treat the escalated version as serious. You keep saying it is not a big deal. That is exactly how the trap closes. Incremental disrespect feels like nothing until you look up and realize the entire relationship is built on you giving and them taking. Then promotion time comes, and you find out what the game was. You were the engine, they were the face. Machiavelli would say, you allowed the appearance of power to drift away from you. And men always follow appearance because it requires less thinking. In friendships, the chronic taker will use your empathy against you. They will always have a reason, a crisis, a story, a wound. Kindness becomes your identity in their eyes, which means they stop treating it as a choice and start treating it as an obligation. When you finally say no, they act shocked. They remind you of everything they have been through, as if pain is a license to consume others. If you hesitate now, the cycle resets. They learn your no is temporary. They learn endurance wins. In romantic dynamics, the social predator appears as the person who flirts with disrespect to see if you accept it. They will tease in a way that tests your self-respect. They will push boundaries, then accuse you of being insecure when you respond. This is a power probe. If you answer with softness, you teach them they can rewrite reality, and you will adapt. If you answer with consequence, they either correct or they leave. Both outcomes are useful. Your problem is not that you are kind. Your problem is that you are readable. You are predictable. You broadcast that you want to be seen as good more than you want to be treated well. And the people I am describing do not hear goodness. They hear leverage. So the shift is not to become mean. The shift is to control your signal before you reveal your softness. The shift is to make your kindness expensive to abuse. Start with how you enter spaces. People read you before you speak. The speed of your movement, the way you look around, whether you scan for permission or assume you belong, whether your voice rushes or lands, whether you fill silence nervously or let it sit. None of this is about ego. It is about removing the easiest hooks manipulators use. Silence is one of the sharpest tools because it forces the other person to carry the weight. The boundary tester wants you to explain. The moral extractor wants you to justify. The social predator wants you to react. Silence denies them material. A calm pause after a probe feels like a wall. It creates uncertainty, and uncertainty creates cost. Your pace matters for the same reason. Fast speech can sound like anxiety. Anxiety signals low rank in the animal brain. Slow, controlled speech signals that you are not afraid of friction. That alone changes how people test you. They test the easiest target first. If you do not look easy, they redirect. Your gaze matters too. Not staring, not performing dominance, just steady. People who exploit watch for eye behavior. They watch for flinches. They watch for avoidance. They watch for the moment you look down when they push. That moment tells them you will retreat inside yourself. You do not need aggression. You need steadiness. Then there is your availability. If you are always reachable, always responding, always explaining, you train others to treat you as an endless resource. Scarcity is not a trick. Scarcity is how value is communicated in every system humans have ever built. When your attention is not instantly available, your attention becomes valuable. When your yes is not automatic, your yes becomes meaningful. When your presence is not guaranteed, your presence becomes respected. And here is the part most people avoid because it feels cold. Sometimes the correct move is not to confront, it is to disappear. There are people who cannot be trained. There are people who interpret any engagement as fuel. The social predator loves conflict because it gives them a stage. The moral extractor loves argument because it gives them a sermon. The boundary tester loves debate because it turns enforcement into negotiation. For those types, the cleanest consequence is removal. Not a dramatic exit, not a speech, not an announcement, just distance, just silence, just making access expensive and then unavailable. None of this requires cruelty. It requires discipline. It requires refusing to donate kindness to people who convert it into entitlement. It requires understanding that being liked is not the goal. Being untouchable does not mean isolated. It means you cannot be cheaply manipulated. It means your time cannot be casually taken. It means disrespect has a price. It means guilt does not move you unless it is earned. It means your softness is protected behind a perimeter. If you want one rule that will save you years, it is this: pay attention to who becomes worse when you are kind. Most people become warmer when treated well. The people I am warning you about become bolder. Their tone sharpens, their demands grow, their respect drops. That is the signal. That is the proof. Never be kind to people who only behave when threatened with loss. Never be kind to people who call your boundaries betrayal. Never be kind to people who rewrite your refusal as cruelty. Never be kind to people who smile while they test how much you will tolerate. Kindness is not a default. Kindness is a privilege, a reward for restraint, a response to respect. And now the final warning, because this is where viewers nod and then do nothing. Understanding is not protection. Knowing the pattern does not stop the pattern. The separation between the exploited and the respected is action. It is the moment you stop negotiating your limits. It is the moment you let silence replace explanation. It is the moment you choose distance instead of dialogue with someone who only listens to force. The people who deserve your kindness will not demand it. They will not test it. They will not punish you for withdrawing it. They will recognize it as a gift, not a right. The people who do not deserve it will always reveal themselves when the flow stops. Machiavelli did not ask you to be heartless. He asked you to be accurate. Men judge by the eye. The crowd follows appearance. Incentives shape behavior. If you forget these truths, you will keep feeding the very people who are waiting for you to stay soft.